There we go. Now I think it's the right stream. I don't know what happened there, but it wasn't the right stream. I started a separate stream here. All right. So, like I was saying, there are kids upstairs. So if you hear stomping on the floor, which you will, or on the ceiling, I guess, that's them. And maybe some crying, some stuff like that. But I wanted to do a recap. I wanted to go through some stuff that happened in the aftermarket, and then a couple of predictions and maybe some articles, some things like that. That's what I wanted to go through. It's not going to be a huge live stream. I think it's probably going to be like an hour. I want to get used to doing these live streams, and that's why I'm starting to change things up. So even with like my Streamlabs, I can set it up to where I have the bigger cam or the bigger cam on the left, or actually set it up like that. So it's going to be good. I'm excited. But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty fun week next week for everything GME, AMC related. I'm seeing a bunch of articles on different things. You know, basically whether it's maybe Wall Street driven or whether it's people driven, you can kind of tell when they're telling you to sell or they're telling you to hold. They're just trying to gain their money back. If that makes sense. Yeah, if you haven't checked out my video that I posted this morning, it's kind of a recap over my stuff, what I did, and I can go over some of that in this live stream as well. Let me know if you're hearing me okay, just because I don't know how the sound's coming through. It seems like it's okay. It's not picking up too much. I can tell you this this whole you know GameStop situation is actually bringing a lot of people to the stock market, and I love this. I love this a lot. You know, the fact that you have people that are new investors that are starting to invest. They're going to start exploring different forms of investing, not just doing this. I know this is trading, but they're going to be exploring different forms, different things that they could do, and I think that's what we need. A lot of people don't want to invest. They don't want to put their money into some place where they can't spend it, you know. And I'm happy to see that people are actually starting to get interested in the markets. Yeah, I think that's really good. Anyways, no one let me know if they're hearing me. You know what? Like I said, I can. Okay, so the sound actually sounds pretty good. Yeah, I didn't want to start with anything yet, just in case, you know, some people come in. I know I started or I scheduled the live stream pretty much like 15 minutes ago. So give some people some time. I was gonna start it last night. I was gonna schedule it last night, but I figured I didn't know if I was gonna get to it this morning because obviously taking care of the kids and whatnot. So, but luckily, my wife's up there handling the morning routine while I do this. And my last video that I posted again is kind of a recap of my situation. Not really a recap of the whole thing, just a recap of my situation, what I invested in, and what happened. Am I still holding my shares? That's what people care about, is are you still holding, you know? And I got a lot of questions yesterday asking me whether they should continue to hold throughout, you know, the weekend. And my opinion was yes. I mean, my opinion, but obviously I'm not a financial advisor. I'm Yeah, I wanted to take this time to look at AMC, GME, BB, Nokia, mainly focused on GameStop and AMC. That's where a lot of the volume is. And I think I have a couple predictions, but I also wanted to go through a couple of things that you want to see, because the point of this whole thing is for people to make their profits, and obviously for the billionaires to understand that we have power, right? So as I look at everything that happened yesterday, last week actually, I'm really excited about the future of the stock market. I just hope that they don't, look at this, turn it around and basically, I'm losing my train of thought. It's early in the morning. I'm so tired. I was up till like 1 last night recording videos, so make sure you check out that video that I posted today. But yeah, I think it's a good deal. So let's take some time to go into this. So AMC in the aftermarket, when I got in, if I wanted to go through some of my information here, I got in multiple times. So I did end up selling yesterday. I didn't fully get out because I'm still in there. But what I did was I had a price where my get-in price, or my I can't even think of words today, but my price that I got in was like 14.70 or something like that, and I got out at 15.15, and I profited like $300 ish. I felt like that was a high cost basis, and I needed it to be a lot lower, because I've seen a lot of others, and some people were at 18. I seen others that were at like $8, and I was like, if I can get there, that would be phenomenal, because I understand that the lower cost basis you have, the more money that you make. So that was my thought process, was like, all right, well, you see these huge peaks and valleys yesterday, and I know I have to go in, but you see these huge peaks and valleys yesterday, and I was like, okay, they're hitting a low of basically like $12 ish. So if I can get in at that $12 mark, then technically I have a really low cost basis there. And that's what I decided to do. When it got up to 15, that's when I decided to sell. I was going to sell somewhere around the $16 mark, but I was like, should I? But then it went down, and then it came back up, I think, or it started going down, and I got in at 15.15, or I got out at 15.15. Then I ended up getting back in, and I said yesterday that I got back in at 13.50. I was going to get back in at 13.50, but I got in 400 shares at 12.50. And then I wanted to get in at 200 more shares at 11.50, and then let it ride up as the time went on, but it only went down to 11.60 yesterday. So I was a little upset, but I set my target. I thought I should have went like, I don't know, $12, and that probably would have worked, but no, didn't work. So yeah, I got in at 12.50, and now I'm holding 400 shares. I believe I have a profit, unrealized profit of like $319 or something, $304. And the profit yesterday that I made, the realized gain, was $391. So if I'm remembering that correctly. So I thought it, all in all, was a good day, and this is what I didn't understand, why I didn't do this the first couple of days. The first couple of days I could have added my day trading methods here. I could have bought in here, waited for it to kick back, sold somewhere around here, wait for it. Like I know when they're gonna hit their marks because of these quick peaks and valleys. It's not anything that's like, oh, it's slowly dissipating. It's not, until it gets towards the end of the day. Obviously that's where it starts to taper off, and even if the day continued, it would still have these peaks and valleys. It's crazy. AMC is definitely going at a rate to where you can day trade easier than GME, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. There are 8 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps me out a ton. But yeah, I mean, AMC made it easy for me, made it very easy for me to be able to get in and get out. But like I said, a lot of my targets that I wanted to hit, I thought that I would hit I understand the resistance level was somewhere around that $12 mark, but I decided to go a little bit lower than that. I said, all right, well, I think they're going to go, I don't know, $11, so I'll go with $11.50. But they didn't go to $11.50, they went to $11.60, and I was just livid. I was really upset at myself because it's 10 cents off, and I could have bought in at another dollar. That means every 400 shares that I have, I would gain another dollar. You know what I mean? And I think this is the whole purpose of this, is to make some sort of profit. Let me know if you hear that stomping up there, because my daughters are running around. So yeah, the whole point of this is really, there's 2 points: to get the profits for everyday people, and then also Wall Street needs to learn a thing or two. They need to get some sort of lesson from us, and it seems like that's happening because we're losing billions of dollars. But yeah, I mean, the peaks and valleys of AMC was definitely something that I was into, and that's why I initially invested in AMC and continue to invest in AMC. So right now I'm holding 400 shares, and you could see in the aftermarket from 4 o'clock all the way until 8, you can see that they dipped down right at 4 o'clock. So they ended the day at 326. Sorry, 1326, and then they obviously dipped down to a low of $12, which is not a crazy dip. It looks like it's a massive dip because of, you know, the way it's set up here, basically by 20s. But they did have that massive dip, increased quite a bit rapidly, so they came back to earth in the aftermarket, and then they started to, you know, steady out. Starting to flatten, and you can see that they finished above where they closed at 1346. So that's obviously a good thing. I'm happy with the fact that they did that. Now I'm wondering what will happen in the post market, or the pre-market on Monday, and how that will affect everything, because if it dips down or it rises up in the let's say it rises up in the pre-market. If it rises up to a point to where a bunch of people gain some sort of a profit, people will leave. Like, they will exit their shares. They will sell everything because they feel like it's not going to get to that point again. Now, obviously, a lot of people are saying hold, hold, hold. But if you want to realize your profit, realize your profit. But if you feel like you're way up in your profit target, let's say you invested at $8 and right now it's at 13. Okay? You invested however much, you know, $10,000. You're pretty much close to double that amount. So you can take out your initial investment plus a couple of thousands, I guess, and then you can keep the rest in there to see how it does grow. So no matter what, you profit out of it. That's the idea, is everybody needs to gain some sort of profit out of this, and we need to understand how we're going to do this in our exit strategy, right? So yeah, I can't wait to see what they do in the pre-market, if they're going to steadily increase, because like I said, AMC is something that was, you know, rapidly up and down yesterday, rapidly up and down, to points where I was just like, geez, like I could really day trade the hell out of this, because you see all of these, like it's just so predictable where it's going to go. You know, it's like a straight line, like a B line, up or down, right? So that's AMC. GME I thought was a little more flat yesterday. It didn't seem like you had a lot of peaks and valleys. It was more towards like you had some peaks and valleys here, but not to the extent to where AMC is, right? So you see these small peaks and valleys, and I understand the price difference here because that was by cents and this is by dollars. But you see these peaks and valleys here, and it's just something that I was just like, I I don't know if I can justify one, spending $325 on a stock that is so volatile, and two, understanding like the massive gains that I could get, because it doesn't fall far away from the norm. So that line right there is the norm. I don't see anything falling too far away from it to where I think it's going to come back. It's kind of unpredictable. That's what I don't like. Anything that's unpredictable and this volatile is not good. But if you can get in at a low price and hold it, then that's the idea, is get in at a low price and hold it. So all of these low prices here that we did have, the 260, that you can basically expect it to skyrocket back above 400 at some point, right? Same thing with like some of the other time. I know this was when it opened, but anytime you can get in at their low points, that's where you can expect to gain a large profit out of it. Because like I said, it's $225. That's a lot of money to spend on one share of stock. And I know a lot of people that have bought GameStop. I know people that bought GameStop at $40. And if they bought it at $40 and they sold it now, obviously they made a decent profit out of it. So GameStop was a little more tricky. But as we look into the aftermarket, you could see that it dipped just like AMC did, but obviously at a higher scale. You know, it dropped down to, where's it at? Jeez, ladies. It dropped down to about 300. So it wasn't a crazy dip, but obviously $30 is something significant. There's 18 people in here. If you could hit that like button, that would be great. I really appreciate it. Yeah, if anybody has had any type of luck with this, are you constantly holding, or are you looking to, you know, basically get in at a low price, get out at a high price, get in at a low price? Are you doing that? What are you actually doing right now? But yeah, GameStop towards 4 o'clock. Let's expand this. You can see both of them started to flatten out. So AMC and GameStop started to flatten out. Thank you for hitting that like button. We're up to 9 likes. I appreciate it. So from 4 o'clock, you can see that it literally flattened out. You had that large drop off right after the close, right? And then it came right back up to earth, you know, and started to flatten out there, just like AMC did. And it was a quick drop, quick increase, and then you were good. So it ended at 315, so a little bit lower than what the closing price is, but I mean, it's still within that range. Now, if it closed at like that 290 mark, then obviously that's, you look at it and go, okay, it's decreasing, steadily decreasing. What's going to happen in the pre-market? That's what matters, is what's going to happen in the pre-market, because it seems like with all of these stocks, after hours are the best time, right? So audio is too loud on your tablet. Let me know if anybody else is having audio problems. Audio is okay? I literally didn't know. Like, I was wondering what was going on with the chat, but the chat wasn't in the normal section. So I was like, what's happening here? I don't have anybody saying anything. Good morning, D. Anderson. Nice to see you in the live stream. Haven't seen you commenting on videos in a while, so it's good to see you. Good to know you're still here, still subscribed. You're holding 852 shares at 1650-ish. Okay, so you're waiting for it to really pop up. Expect that large pop up, and I'm not saying that you should expect to sit here and sell. And this is a AMC, right? I would imagine. What I was waiting for, as I knew that we would have those large peaks and valleys, so predicting that, I knew that we would get up to like 15 or something. So I wanted to get up to that 15 mark. And I wanted to sell at that 15 mark because I knew that we were going to have a large decrease at some point, so that I can get back in and you know, drive up that price again and have more of a profit in the end. So to answer your question, I have 400 shares of AMC. Wanted to get 600, but I didn't hit my target at 1150. The limit was set for 1150. It only went to 1160 yesterday, and I was a little upset with myself. But yeah, 852 shares. If you could basically get a profit there and expect that decrease at some point, then you're good. I don't know if this is going to increase at the rate that GameStop did, right? Because they're obviously looking at this, regulating this, and they're not allowing people to buy as many shares, and they don't want this to happen. So I don't know if it's going to increase at the same magnitude that GameStop did. So that's where it's a little tough, you know, for me, in my opinion. There's something bigger here. Yeah, I think you're right, Keith. I think bankrupting the hedge funds is only the beginning, but the problem is that these hedge funds are starting to, with limiting the amount of stocks that people can buy, they're starting to flatten out the curve, you know, of us being, you know, ahead of the game and them being, you know, behind the scenes, basically. If they can predict how much we can buy, because if they say, oh, well, you can only buy 115 shares, if they predict how much we can buy, then they make it predictable for them so that they can make money on the upswing, downswing, whenever it actually is. And then they basically cover all of their losses that they had, which seems unreasonable at billions of dollars, but it's not, because if they can successfully predict the market, it makes it 10 times easier for them. And they're doing this by shutting down these, and they say, oh, well, it's because of, you know, the fact that they don't have the cash available or cash on hand. There's a lot of talks as to what could be the reason, just so, you know, the people don't get mad. But people are mad at Robinhood mainly, and then you can also look at other brokerage accounts that are pretty mad as well. There are 26 people in here. If you could hit that like button, that would be phenomenal. Anyone know about WSB crypto listed on CoinMarketCap? It's a joke, right? I don't know anything about that. So hopefully someone in the chat does. Jonathan, thank you for liking. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Jonathan. I'm 100% with you. It does sound a little sketchy, but like the way that they're doing all of these things, the hedge funds, had the firms, they're all looking to get their profits back, right? Because they shorted all these stocks, and they're rapidly increasing, and they're staying at a level to where it was just not, it was just unheard of. So as I'm looking at this, I'm just like, what is going through their mind? What's the best opportunity for them? And every step of the way, everything that I've seen with them limiting shares, with them stopping shares, stopping buying shares, but only allow people to sell. You're telling me that they decided to do that because of a cash flow situation? I don't understand it at all. Selling is worse than buying, isn't it? Right? That, I mean, it makes no sense to me at all. It's helping out these people that shorted stocks just so they can gain some sort of return, and maybe they kept shorting along the way, and when they, let's say, shorted at $325, they said, all right, well, you're only allowed to buy, or you're not allowed to buy any shares. It dropped down to 150. They recovered how much losses by shorting from 325, right? So that's that's where we don't see what's going on there. But their initial short, no, they're not getting that back, right? So all of it does sound pretty sketchy. But all I know is that the longer we hold and the more we can buy and the longer we hold those buys and those shares and those shares, you know, the better situation that we are in, you know, as people. Will AMC go up? Um, I believe it will. I believe it will go up. It's just if they keep telling us we can only buy a certain amount of shares in a day, then that's obviously going to make it go up at a slower rate, not at a faster rate, which people want it to go up at a faster rate. But if they're limiting the amount of shares we can buy, then what are we going to do about it? This is why I keep recommending that you have multiple stock brokerage accounts. You don't have all of your money in one area. I have my money in multiple places, you know, Fidelity, Weeble, Ally, uh, Robinhood. I have $10 in Robinhood. First Trade. I have so many different brokerage accounts that if one decides, you know what, I'm going to stop trading or stop letting you buy, take the buy button away. Okay, I'll go into the next one. Oh, that one does it too? I'll go into the next one. So I mainly use Fidelity. I've had no problems with Fidelity. I bought on and off 400 shares and I've had no issues. So I am loving Fidelity. I heard nothing bad about them. Even Charles Schwab stopped trading. Basically, they limited shares and all of that. And I don't like that. You're one of the biggest platforms out there, and you're limiting shares, limiting the amount people can buy. It's crazy. There are 31 people in here. If you could hit that like button, that would be absolutely amazing. It would help me out a ton. Let's see. They're trying to hold us back, Jonathan. Yes, I do believe they are trying to hold us back. On Monday, do I believe it's going to go up? Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I believe Monday it will go up. We just need to see what it's going to do in the pre-market. If it goes in the pre-market and the pre-market it hits above when it opens, let's say it's above 18 or 19. If a lot of people bought in at 16 or 17, they're going to think that it's not going to get to that price again, so they're going to sell off. So for good reason. I understand you want to recognize your profits. Let's do that, and then we can get in at a lower price. And then as we hold at lower prices, then that price can skyrocket. A bunch of people can make money. So obviously everybody can't make money at the same time. So as the market, it makes it easy for us to make money. The only thing is we can't predict when the next person is going to sell or when a bunch of people is going to sell. So you can only look at the price and say, at this price, if I bought in at this price, would I sell? How many people do you think bought in at this price? Okay, a lot of people. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sell this and then wait for it to get to a point to where I'm comfortable with getting back in. The point is that we want to hold it for a long time, but never let it get low enough so that these hedge funds ever get to their profit target. You know, that's what it's about. Alan, yeah, I understand. They can mention any celebrity, especially Elon. Any celebrity can mention a stock and or Bitcoin or whatever, and it will go up. You know, that's just how it goes. It gains popularity because it's about buyers and sellers. That's what the market is about, buyers and sellers. And people always say, "Oh, it's about market news." It's not just about market news. It's about buyers and sellers. So if people are interested, they're going to get into the game, and you'll be making money. Let me quickly go through BB. So I'm going to go through these two just because I didn't go through them. But sorry, there have been a bunch of new people that came in here, but there are 56, 58 people in here. Please hit that like button. But yeah, as I start to look at AMC, just to give my overall opinion, because I did give it to everyone in the beginning, but there were like 10 people or so in here. So you see all the peaks and valleys. I got in and out. I'm holding 400 shares at 12.50, and I'm looking for it to jump above that $18 mark. You see this? You see these huge peaks and valleys, so expect this the whole entire time. I don't expect it to be that big, but it may be, you know, somewhere around like say here to here. So it'll be less of a large peak and valley, but yeah, I think we're gonna be good going into Monday. I just hope that the pre-market goes as planned, which I'll make sure to live stream during that, even though it's the, sorry, I got distracted by a comment. Yeah, I'll make sure to live stream even though it's the first day of the month, which is month end close for work. But we have 66 people in here. Please hit that like button. That helps me out a ton. A bunch of people are talking about Dogecoin. I've seen a ton of people talk about it. I'm interested, but then again, I'm not interested because I've always been interested in traditional stocks. So, in my opinion, but I feel like that's the best route to go. GME flattened out in the aftermarket. It went down, but it pretty much finished close to where it closed. BB went down in the aftermarket by what was it, 6 cents. So it closed at 14.10. Closed the aftermarket at 14.04. Nokia, that I believe went up a little bit. So you did have an increase at 4.62 to 4.56. So these are the areas that I'm focusing on. Obviously, AMC and GME are the two biggest pieces because you have the most volume that goes into those two. But that's what I'm noticing there. You, D. Anderson, you love Fidelity? Yeah, I love using Fidelity. Everything about it. The stock screeners, you know, the charts. The only thing that I would say I don't like about it, I like the style of the charts, but when you come here, it's not like live updating. You obviously have to refresh it, and when you refresh this, it only refreshes the price. And I don't like that. I would like if it refreshed the chart as well with the same indicators that you put in here, the same frequency, whatever you're looking at. That's what I don't like about Fidelity, but everything else is pretty much good. The education tools, the stock screener, the stock information on a typical stock page. So yeah, I love Fidelity so much, and I've never really had any big issues with them. So, morning Wyatt, morning AMC for the win. Are you invested in AMC, Wyatt? Dogecoin crashed, LOL, pulled out at perfect time, profited 2K. Well, that's good. It's all about gaining that profit. That's what I say about all of this stuff that's happening. Everything. It's about gaining your profit. It's not just about holding on to it and showing the hedge funds that, you know, we can control this. Because at a certain point right now, like GameStop is way above where they thought it would, you know, decrease at. So if you can gain any type of profit within this range, you're fine. Gain your profit and then worry about holding as long as possible. And then if you want to gain more profit, gain more profit. But worry about gaining a profit as a collective group before we sit here and worry about just taking down the big guys, you know? Let me know if you hear some stomping up there. Because, like I said, my daughters are up there stomping around. So yeah, for like me, I never wanted to say, hey, I went into AMC and, you know, profited $300 out of it and then, you know, got back into it. I thought that maybe people would be like, oh, well, you sold out and now people are basically going to say that I'm not for the cause, but I am. I know that they have a large, they have large peaks and valleys, and I wanted to get in at their valleys and sell at their peaks and then get in at their valleys, because no matter what, I understand that if everybody stays as a collective group holding and then we continue to buy, you won't see as large peaks and valleys, but people do see this. You have people that sell at this $15 mark, that will buy at this $12 mark, and then sell again and buy again. Like, they'll keep doing that, and for good reason, right? They're doing that for 100% good reason, and I'm all for it. Take your profit, but the only thing is, like, understand by the end of the day, right? Holding is the best option. As long as, if you took a bunch of profit, let's say you gained $1,000 in profit, you initially invested, I don't know, $2,000. Just continue to hold it. Once you get towards the end of the day, see what the pre and post market does, which the pre and post market has been great for investors into, or traders, I guess, because it's not investors at this point. They've been great for traders in these stocks. So they've always gone up at exponential rates. Like, there have been times to where it hit 500 for Gamestop, and that's absolutely crazy. You know what's crazy? I held Gamestop at $5 way back when, and it was a number of shares because that was in my phase to where I thought penny stocks were a huge deal. Like, hey, get into penny stocks, and anything below $5 was considered a penny stock. So I was like, all right, I need to get into these lower tier stocks. I can buy a number of shares and then go from there. But I decided to sell it because it wasn't increasing. It was steadily decreasing a little bit. So I was like, this is not doing enough for me. I have 900. I don't know what that means. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Oh, you have 900 shares of AMC. At what price did you say you had? Wow. Hopefully it's at a lower price. Hopefully you got in at like $8. We got 177 people in here. If you could hit that like button, that will help me out a ton. Seriously, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I want to see that go up to like 50. We got 170 people in here. Naked is a halt? You mean cult? I don't know what that means. I really don't. Talk about GameStop going into the new fiscal year this Sunday. Isn't the fiscal year July to June? I mean, that's always been my fiscal year. But I don't know about you. I don't know about you. Um, GameStop in the new fiscal year. And I think it's weird that they're waiting till Sunday. All right. So, I wanted to go into this here. Let me change over my screen a little bit. So we got 180 people. Please hit that like button. But I'm gonna switch over here. So I wanted to show this because this is the real reason why we're doing this. You know what I mean? Like, while these hedge firms basically say I wanna make as much money as possible, these are the reasons why we're doing this. We see this kid that had GameStop shares, and he cashed out his GameStop shares. I mean, being able to see your shares grow at a crazy rate and then be able to profit off of it is absolutely phenomenal, and do something probably good with the money to probably help out his parents, or help out himself, anything like that. It's crazy to me to see this, and it makes me feel good about the cause, right? So, like, it's, as I look at this, I mean, you see that the kid had 10 shares, right? I believe it was 10 shares. Fifth grader gifted 10 shares at $6.19 each. So he profited, what was it, 3,000? Well, he profited a lot. But he had a total stake, or it grew to $3,200. So that's a big deal for a lot of people, and it's not even about the fact that I know I see a chat that says he's a smart little man, right? But yeah, I mean, holding on to it, yes, he's smart. But whoever got him the stock, he's smart. You know, that's what it's about. And then like creating opportunities like this. You know, we did this. Everybody that's that's in this whole situation that decided to invest into GameStop to get back at these firms, right? Yeah, we're doing great. We're doing great things. Like you look at this kid, gain $3,000, can probably do something really good for his family. I love it. And we need to continue to do stuff like this. But the only thing is that Wall Street is probably going to um, look at us and they're going to go, okay, how do we fix this? If they choose to do this again, how do we fix it? And the way that they fix it is the thing that they're doing. They're going to limit the amount of shares that we can get. Um, they're going to find a way not to make their short sales public. They're going to find different methods to screw us over because the more that we lose, the more that they win. They are so greedy. Usually human beings are so greedy, but you see human beings that are, you know, like us. You know, we want profits for the normal people, but we also want to see things like this. We want to see this little kid be happy with $3,000 in his pocket. Maybe he possibly didn't get all of that because, you know, I know when I was a kid, if I made any money, it didn't go to me. So isn't he too young for stocks? This is the thing. He was gifted those stocks, so they can go under. They probably went under whoever's account it was, but he was gifted those stocks. Or if he had a 529 account or something, or whatever it actually is. If he had an account under his name, I guess 529 account wouldn't work because that goes into funds. But if he had an account, then he can actually get a custodial account, I believe. So yeah, I mean that's crazy. $3,200, good for him. Um, and we did this, you know, we helped him out. So we have 241 people in here. Please hit that like button. It helps me out a ton. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously there's a bunch of people. I wish I could have gotten it at $6.19. Now, the thing that I was upset about was AMC getting down to $12 or $6.50, I believe, on Thursday, and wanting to invest, but I decided to get sidetracked and not invest into it. $6.50 and it went up to $15. I could have taken a large profit, got back in at $12, and then I would have been sitting pretty there. You know what I mean? So technically, I would gain the profits twice there. It wouldn't be the same profits because obviously I'm getting in at a higher rate from 6 to 12, but still, is buying calls and buying, is the play buying calls or buying just stocks? I consider just buying stocks the play. Um, in my opinion, a lot of people can't handle the complexity of options, and especially since a lot of new people are starting to invest in the market. This is what's crazy. If you have a lot of new people that are investing into the market, it makes it very difficult for them to understand anything that's complex. So simple buys and sells, that's what it's all about. Like you buy and you sell. So yeah. What else? GameStop, AMC, or your other stock picks may have soared. Why you want to unload them? So this is the thing that I've seen. I wanted to point out this article not because it's important. Well, kind of it is important, but it's basically showing that you have two sides of the coin here. You have people that are saying, "Hey, unload all your shares," because this article is maybe backed by someone that really wants to profit out of the deal, but they're losing billions of dollars, right? One of these Wall Street investors. And then you also have the people on the other side that are us that want to profit out of the deal and also make them suffer. They shouldn't be gaining billions of dollars on the fact of us losing millions of dollars. Do you know what I mean? Or billions of dollars at that. So he sold, the kid sold. I would imagine it's only 10 shares, and to see situations like that, you don't come across something like that. You don't come across a situation where you gain $3,200 as a kid, and especially if maybe your family is struggling. I don't know. It's better to take it out and do something with it. The only thing is that that family is going to have to pay taxes on that money, so it's probably going to be taxed at, like, let's say a 39% rate, probably closer to 50. I always hold 50% for any of my businesses, just because. Hold the line. You're right, Arsenio. Am I saying that right? Yeah. Definitely hold the line. I think we need to find a way to hold. This is why I say, like, okay, you can take your profits, you can realize whatever gains you can realize, but you need to take that money and hold it in the end, because not everything. You realize your profits and then you reinvest into that stock, maybe at a less shares, or lesser rate, whatever it is. But yeah, I feel like that's the move, is to hold on to it. And you look at, just let's switch screens here. So you look at AMC here. I mean, AMC just did massive things yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. They did massive things. To see things gain like 50%, 60%, 100, I think it was 140% the one day. I was just like, what in the world is going on? And the crazy thing is, like, GameStop will go up and down. I think it was at like 150 the one day, and then literally within the same day it gained $140. Like, these are the type of gains that people want to see, and you can capitalize on, as long as you're doing it the right way. Because the thing that's bringing these down the most are people kind of getting scared, and the big firms that are buying at these points and selling at these points to make up on their losses that they had in the beginning. You think next week is going to be a bloodbath? Huh? Possibly. It just depends. 919 shares. I'm not selling a single one of AMC, I would imagine, right? Dr. Drew. Yeah, I mean, let's see. I mean, we have 430 people in here. Please hit that like button. Get it over 100 likes. That would be phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, Dr. Drew, I understand where you're coming from with the 919 shares. But if you are not at a profit right now, then it makes sense for you to hold as long as possible. But if you can gain a profit at one of these peaks, then gain a profit. No matter what, it's going to go down a significant amount, because there's a lot of people that are going to sell off. It's not just you. But as long as you eventually buy back in and hold on to that, it's not going to affect the overall situation in a big way. Realize your profit. I mean, that's my opinion, is realize your profit. Yes, we got over 100 likes, 121 likes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Helps out a ton. Let's see. Not sure how to contribute. What do you mean? You're not sure how to contribute? You don't have any stock brokerage accounts? Because even one share actually helps out the cause. Because if everybody buys one share, and we have, let's say, 1 million people that's there, that's 1 million shares that we put into place, which could be what happens in a single minute. So you look at how many shares happen in a single minute. This is a 1 minute chart. This is 1 million shares here. This is 1 million shares, million shares, million shares. This is obviously towards the end of the day. Towards the beginning of the day, I believe it was like 12 million shares. Yeah, the first. Maybe that's wrong. It's 181,000. That doesn't sound like a lot at all. Oh, this is AM. Jesus. I thought when I seen the large gap up, I got excited. But yeah, towards the open, come on, you see it jump up millions and millions of shares. I can't get there, but you know what I mean. AMC Analysis. My full breakdown of AMC, I kind of went through it multiple times in this, because I'm invested in AMC. I'm not invested in anything else. But my analysis of the overall stock as a day trader, as a person that loves these situations, loves these peaks and valleys that it has here, I look at them as the most opportune, like this is the most opportune time to get in, it's the most opportune time to get out, to realize your profits. I look at them as the best stock in this whole situation. You can see Gme that's at 325, but it's a large price to get into. A lot of people that that want to buy and hold and realize any type of profit, they're buying one share. It's a large price to pay at $325. Now, if it gets down to the 150 mark, that's usually when people start to buy again. But with AMC, it's a lower price target. We can get this probably up to, if we really pushed and they didn't limit our shares, we can get this up to $60, $80, $100 if we wanted to. But I think it's going to be a tough thing to do to even get it above 25, because the way that they're limiting our shares, they're basically holding us to a point, so we can only get probably above that 16 mark in one day. Then the next day we can only get above that 18 mark in another day. And that's where I'm just like, okay, if they're limiting our shares, they're making it difficult on us. We have 16, how many people? Wow, 635 people in here. Please hit that like button. Wow, 150 likes, that just jumped. Hit the like button, get it above 200. We have 640 people in here. Where was this? Where was the comment that I wanted to address? He supports the hedge funds. Me? I don't support the hedge funds. I support the people. And the thing is about a lot of people don't have enough money to invest into this stuff, or don't have a crazy amount. So if you can realize any type of profit, gain your profit, but then get back in. I would say you hold as long as possible to gain any type of profit. But like I said, it is going to go down. Stocks like this are going to go down a little bit. So if they do, you can get right back in at maybe even a higher rate than you had before. And then you have more shares, which means that the price goes up even higher. So I'm trying to find a way to get to more shares being held by people than the institutions. We're over 217 likes. That's amazing. Thank you for hitting that like button. All of you are absolutely phenomenal. That's the only reason I'm saying to sell, but the overall opinion is to hold, if that makes sense. So you sell to buy at a lower price, then you hold for a long period of time. So yeah, that's my opinion there. Can I talk about Blackberry? I think Blackberry doesn't really have enough movement in it. I think that if you invested at a lower point, like if you invested at one of these lower points yesterday, then yeah, you're going to gain something out of it. And people aren't really focusing on it too much. I understand that people are focusing on all of these areas up here. So you have AMC, GME, BB, Nokia, even some others, right? And if they're focusing everywhere else, you're splitting up the cause. And that's not what we want. We want it to be focused on a couple of areas so that we have more people than they have money. That's what it's about. We have more people than they have money. And if we have more people, then we can basically partner up and say we have $2 per 200 million people. Now we have $400 million that are going into this stock, right? And that's just at a simple dollar rate. Obviously, these stocks don't cost $1, but still. I am lying to the people to discourage them. This is where it's tough. I don't know what Wall Street's play is, but it looks like they're already doing things right now. So my thought with what they did with limiting shares is that they're trying to predict things. Making things by limiting shares, you're making things predictable, saying that only a max of 115 shares are going to come out of, or 115 shares per person are going to be bought by this group, right? So you can predict how many people are going to buy 115 shares based on the volume yesterday and the volume before that. And if they make it predictable for them, it tends to be easier for them. It tends to get to a point to where they can easily make money, and make up for all of their losses. This is what we don't want. But the point is that their initial loss is never going to be recouped. You know, they shorted these stocks at a way lower price than what they were. So the fact that they shorted them at a lower price means that they're never going to get that money back. But they are going to be able to profit in different areas if they make the market predictable, in my opinion. So I think that buying and holding is an amazing option. The thing that they're doing is they're buying and they're also shorting at other points. So if they, like what they did with Robinhood, completely like taking away the buy button, that helped them out so much because they may have shorted at $350 or $400 because it's so high. And then they were like, all right, well, we took away the buy button in Robinhood, so now we gained some sort of profit, saying that it is going to go lower. And it did go lower. It went to like $140. So obviously Robinhood is, you know, in their back pocket. I bought AMC. Let me know if my mic's okay and everything. We have 889 people. That is crazy in this live stream. Can you hit the like button, get this above 300 likes? That would be phenomenal. Yeah, Robinhood does need to stop doing illegal stuff. I'll tell you the truth. I mean, I was so upset when I seen that because I obviously can't do anything about it. I trade with Fidelity. Probably 90% of the time. The other 5% will probably go to like Webull, and then I do have money in Robinhood. I have a couple of dollars in First Trade, but it seems like it wasn't just like Robinhood that did all of this. You know, Robinhood started it by taking away the buy button completely. But then you also have, you know, Interactive Brokers. You have Charles Schwab, which is surprising. You know, it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. AMC to the moon. Yes, you're right. We do need to get them. I hope that they stop limiting these shares. My prediction on Blackberry, I think all of these lower stocks. So what I think is going to happen, right? A lot of people have their eyes on GameStop because that's the most popular portion, right? That's the most popular stock. Then AMC jumps into the mix, and a lot of people are excited about that because it's a lower price stock, right? And that's where a lot of people want to get this above $20, above $25, up to $100, whatever they want to get it to. Then after we increase that so much, we're probably going to go over to BB. You're going to have a lot of people over in Blackberry that push the stock price up because the volume is not huge. You know, you have for a lower price stock, the volume is literally in the tens of thousands. So that's where you know you don't have the amount of people in Blackberry. And if I had an opinion on this, I would say that this is probably one of the slowest growing stocks that we are focusing on. This and Nokia. Nokia as well. They're getting a larger portion of shares, and this is towards the end of the day, 624,000 for this minute alone. But it makes sense for this. It's only $5. For this being $14 and only getting, you know, 77, 100,000 volume, it makes no sense. So you look at like AMC, in a typical time they'll get 500,000, a million, 2 million, 3 million, 12 million at times, and that's what you want. Yes, my name is actually Matthew Perry. I get it all the time, and that's how I get jobs, really, to tell you the truth. Yeah, the first thing they always say is, "Are you Chandler Bing from Friends?" And I'm like, obviously I'm not, but that's how they remember me. So this whole thing is phenomenal. We have 1,000 people in this live stream. Please hit the like button. Get it above 400 likes at this point. This is good. It's better than the last two live streams where I was actually going through the live stock market. So thank you everybody for stopping by. Please get that over 400 likes if you can. 1,000 people watching, just hit that like button. Anyways, as we start to look at the future of this, I really think we need to continue to focus on, if you have shares in Best Buy, like if you bought some shares in Best Buy, Blackberry, um, we need to find a point to where, I hope it's not a ton of shares, because it's going to take a while for you to get to your profit target, or even get to a point to where it's like $100 or $50 or whatever. I would love to talk to you about a job position. What about naked? Let's discuss naked. Let's look at naked. I'm seeing that a lot. Let me, wait, make sure that that's okay. Still lined up. What is it? NAKD. I was looking at this yesterday, and it's a low price stock, right? That's what people want, is they want these low price stock. $1.65, it moved 18%. We're starting to push into like these penny stock ideas, and like I said, look at this, 5 stocks that we focus on. If you say if we have a total amount of people that are focusing on stocks, let's say 400 million people, and they have $400 million to spend, right? We need to find a way to get all those 400 million people to be against that Wall Street firm on the same area. Now, it's highly unlikely that we're going to have everybody invest in all of these stocks at a massive rate. They're going to see their opportunity and they're going to keep going. So, and they're going to buy into it, and they're not going to go into any other share, any other stock. So, my opinion of naked, total volume yesterday did have 474 million, and it's at a lower price, which is $1. I would say this is where it starts to get tough, because the moves are like minute. It's very confined. There's not really much movement here, and my day trading brain will never go for this stock, right? Because it's such you need like a very small portion in order to gain a profit. But you obviously, if you can pull off something to where you go from $1.65 all the way up to I don't know, $10 or $20, then that would be crazy. But we don't have enough people that are focusing on this alone. You look at yesterday, and you have 807,000 shares for something that's priced at $1. That's just not, I feel like that's not enough traction. My prediction for AMC. So AMC, if you see their chart, it looks phenomenal to the normal person. First, we have 1,000 people in here. Please hit that like button, get it over 500. We have 1,100, basically almost 1,200 people. Crazy. But yeah, my prediction for AMC, it depends what the firms are, or not what the firms, what the brokerage accounts are allowing us to do. So if people get access to something like Fidelity, to where you don't have a limit, and they start trading on Fidelity, then yeah, we can see that price skyrocket. So if you're a person that has Robinhood, I think that this whole thing is going to continue for quite a bit of time. So go and get like another brokerage account. Go and get Fidelity. Go and get something else that actually works. I think TD Ameritrade limited the amount that you could buy. I think Webull was open for quite some time, and they also were transparent on the first day why they totally stopped you looking for AMC or any of these stocks. But go and get another brokerage account so that you can gain something out of it, because right now, if we continue on the trajectory of Robinhood, or everybody still has Robinhood, then it's going to be a slow increase. So throughout this whole entire time, you've seen this slow increase, and the trend line would be a very slow increase here from this $10 mark here, let's say, or even start from this $9 mark. Actually, no, start from the $10 mark. So from the $10 mark, you could see the slow increase across multiple time periods. Like, that's slow. What we want to see is these rapid increases, so that the hedge funds are not prepared, right? If they're not prepared, then we have the upper hand, we make the money, right? So my prediction for AMC, it all depends on what happens with these brokerage accounts. But I believe that they're gonna continue to limit shares, and what's gonna happen is we're gonna be at a high price in the open. I believe we're gonna be somewhere at that 18 mark, maybe. Hopefully the pre-market goes that way. If it doesn't, then I'll explain that too. But it'll be at that 18 mark, and then it'll drop off because people are going to sell, you know, and that's just how it goes. People are going to say it's never going to get up to this point again, so then they're going to sell because some people are, you know, they don't have, what do they call it? They said diamond hands. They have paper hands. I like that. But yeah, that's what they're doing. I mean, they're going to get to that 18 mark and they're going to sell. But I believe it is going to go back up, but it's going to steadily go back up through the day. So Monday is going to be a very important day to see how next week actually goes. But that is my prediction, that it will jump up in the pre-market, and it will start at a higher price than what it closed at on yesterday, Friday. But then I think it will sell off a little bit, and we're going to have a slow increase from there. So whether it sells off all the way back down, or whether it sells off to like $16, and then we smoothly transition or push up to that $18 mark. But yeah, it's diamond hands. Paper hands got a paper. That's funny. Fidelity fees. No, we don't have any fees. Why do I say we? Anytime I do that, like if I'm talking about a sports team or whatever, I say we, even though I'm not a part of it. I'm not a part of Fidelity. I'm not a partner, and I'm not pushing Fidelity on you because you're a partner. I'm not pushing them on you because you gain free stocks. I gain free stocks with Webull in the description below, but not with Fidelity. I just really love Fidelity, and I have a couple of videos to where I talk about how to trade with Fidelity, stock screeners, Active Trader Pro, which is an amazing platform. If you ever get it, instantly download Active Trader Pro because it's really good. We have 1,500 people in here. Please hit that like button, get it above 600 likes, see if we could push it. But yeah, I think this is going to be good. I think Monday is going to be it's going to be eye-opening, you know. So yeah. Any other stocks you want me to talk about? How's Merrill? I haven't used Merrill as a trading platform, so if anybody has, please let me know. I haven't heard anything from them, especially about, you know, limiting stocks, limiting shares. I haven't heard anything. So if anybody knows, let me know. I do hear a lot about silver. I have no advice on silver, so sorry. Yeah, I mean, how many people had Robinhood in this chat? Does anybody have Robinhood in this chat and they are going to other platforms? Because I seen an article yesterday that said 76% of people are leaving Robinhood. 76%. Nokia, you want to see Nokia, GME, AMC? Just got here, AMC. All right. Now I'll go through AMC again because I hold shares in it. So I hold 400 shares in AMC. I would have loved to get back in to AMC at 1150 because I did sell at the 15 mark. And the reason I sold was just to realize some sort of profit and knew that it was going to go down. See, as my day trading brain, the way that I think is always, if I see large peaks and valleys, then it's predictable, very predictable throughout the day. Because you're going to see, if you see one peak and valley, then it's like, okay, maybe that was just the point to where it opened and you saw a valley. But then once you see that peak and you see it go down again and then resist, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, I know what you mean here. So then you start to buy into it there, and then you could sell. Or if you already hold it, then you can wait for it to go back up, sell it, know that it's going to come back down sharply, and then reinvest at a lower rate than what you were at. Because my cost basis was $14.70 for AMC, and I feel like that was a little bit too high to gain any type of crazy profit. So I decided to sell at 15.15, gain a $300 profit, get back in at 12.50, and now if it does go up to 15 again, then I gain a larger profit. Go slow-mo chat. If I do that, then I feel like it just gets a little bit overwhelming to continue to. That's smart to go slow-mo chat. Maybe as I start to get used to this, I believe this is my third live stream on this channel. I usually do live streams on my other channel, but this is my third live stream on this channel, but by far this is the best live stream and most engaging group that I've ever seen here. So thank you for that. What about the short squeeze market beat on AMC? Oh, you're taking your 250 to E-Trade. Is E-Trade, I haven't heard anything about E-Trade limiting shares, so that's good. I heard that Ally stopped people from buying. Webull stopped people from buying, but they had a great explanation. And I believe yesterday, I don't believe there was any limit because I bought 42 shares yesterday, but obviously that's not over 115. So, but anyways, I was talking about AMC because people got in here late. So my prediction for AMC was, once I seen these peaks and valleys, I knew that it's going to continue that way. So I decided to get in, get out. But when it comes to next week, I believe my thought is that they will be at a higher rate. Let's say it will get above. I've said 18 in the past. Let's say it will get above that 15 mark, right, in the pre-market. I feel like a lot of people may have bought in somewhere around that, maybe 15 to 13 range. So maybe they see a profit and they realize it and they sell off. There's always people that sell off, but there's a lot of people that are holding. And I understand what you're doing by holding. But if you want to realize a profit, the best situation for you is to take your money, your initial investment, and if you have enough to where you can realize a profit and still hold on to stocks, then do so. Because the point is that we need to hold the line, right? With holding something, at least something. Everybody needs to hold something at some point, but if you can realize a profit, then realize a profit. And if it goes back down, reinvest your money, get back in and, start it all over again, because this is the time when you could do that. But I haven't said this in a while, but this is not financial advice, even though it seems like it's financial advice. These are all my opinions, and apparently I know nothing. So I have to say it. But yeah, it's crazy that I have to say that, even though I have 3 degrees in all of this stuff. But, that's okay. I'm not an expert. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a financial analyst. So that's a different story. But yeah, I think that AMC is definitely going to skyrocket. It's just dependent on all of these brokerage accounts. What are they going to do? And what are the people going to do? Are you going to make that move to a different brokerage account, or not even make the move, just like transition your money from one brokerage account to the other and still have multiple brokerage accounts open? Because if one does something, the other one could do something, then the other one could do something, and you want to have a bunch of options. Like for me, like I said in the beginning of this live stream, I have Fidelity, I have Webull, I have Ally, I have First Trade, I have Robinhood, I have Ally merged with Trade King, but I have a lot of brokerage accounts, and I purposely did this because I know that they can basically do whatever they want. We don't read the terms and conditions. The terms and conditions can say anything, and apparently the Robinhood terms and conditions say that they can limit you from, buying a stock or selling a stock whenever they feel that they can, and that's not a good thing. You don't want that, because they've done that in the past. And I've made a video on my channel about why I'm leaving Robinhood and why I left them. And I still have $10 in there, because if I do get anybody that signs up using my link, they still get free stocks, and I'll get a free stock. But I actually took the link off of my description, because I don't want to have to deal with them anymore. I go into Robinhood sometimes because it's an easy to use platform to explain what I'm doing. Like say if I'm doing a video here, it's easy to screen record and show my screen right next to me, you know. But yeah, I can't deal with Robinhood. Get multiple accounts. We have 1,800 people in here. Please hit that like button. Get this over 1,000 likes. Let's push it to 1,000 likes. If we get it to 1,000 likes, I'm pretty sure that AMC is going to skyrocket next week. Let's go with that. Who said douche coin? Who said that? Hold the line. Yes, hold the line for everything. But like I said, my recommendation for everything is really just to focus on a couple of areas, not to expand it next week. If we expand how many stocks we're looking at next week, this could be bad for us. You know, don't look at a bunch of different stocks. If we start to pull up and we say, oh, let's look at Best Buy, or let's look at Apple, or whatever the stock may be, then we're going to be in trouble if we're looking at 10 different stocks and splitting it by 1 million people. So if we look at GME here, GME has obviously it's a high price to pay to get into that stock. It really is. A lot of people don't want to pay $325 to get into one share of a stock, especially something that goes up and down by $131, right? So yeah, get it to 1K likes. 874 likes. Thank you so much. But yeah, nobody really wants to sit here and think about that. So that's why a lot of people are like, okay, well, if they're going to sell off, I'll get into the stock, but I'll get in at this 200 mark, 260 mark, or I'll get in at 150. You know, I'll get into when I feel it's a little bit safe. The point is that we need to buy and hold it. For the people that were buying it, that bought it in the beginning at, I don't know, $5, 10, 40, 60, however many dollars, and you're still holding it, I applaud you, because it got up to $500 at one point, which you could have realized your profits, and hopefully you did, and then you bought back in at maybe that 150 mark. So we're at 923 likes. Please hit that like button. We got 2,000 people in here. But yeah, this whole thing is absolutely crazy, and I want to continue with gaining these profits, but with the way that they're limiting us to buy shares and we start to split things up, that means that we can only buy 115 shares of, let's say, AMC, right? By 115 shares of AMC, that person cannot take their, or you have another person that goes and buys 115 shares of BB, right? Now you have that split. You can't buy anymore. But if you buy it in one stock, then technically that stock is going to increase at an exponential rate compared to all of the other stocks. So we need to focus on, we need to show them that we can still do this even though they're limiting us to 115 shares, right? We did hit 1,000 likes. Thank you so much for getting me to 1,000 likes. That helps me out a lot. I haven't used E-Trade. I don't know about E-Trade. Yes, I think you're right, Tommy. AMC and GME is all we really need to focus on right now. We can push towards the other ones as time goes on. And I feel bad for anybody that's already invested in Nokia or Naked or BB or you know, Blackberry. I feel bad for that because I don't want to say, oh, you know, push your money to another piece, push your money to another stock, and, you know, take a loss or whatever. But I feel like we're trying to hold the line with these certain stocks, and if they're limiting us, we need to take advantage of that limit. You know, we can only do what we see is possible, I guess. Wall Street is, they're horrible, they're crooked, they're snakes, and if you want to get back at them, we need to focus on 2 areas. That's what I'm saying. In my opinion, that's the best option. I think I'm loving this live stream right now, but I think I said I was only going to do an hour and I'm 24 minutes over, but I'm going to continue for quite a little bit of time. If you hear my children up there, please let me know, because I want to be able to adjust the mic for next time. But yeah, we had 2,300 people in here. Please hit that like button. It helps get more people in here. But yeah, let me know how many shares you have of everything. How many shares do you have at AMC? How many shares do you have of GME? What price did you buy in at? Let me know all that stuff. Can Tesla fall further? I'm not following Tesla, to tell you the truth. I was following Tesla for a little bit because I was interested in how they were defying the odds. But I'm not really following them too much. Doge is a waste of time. I mean, I think crypto is kind of a waste of time for me. I feel like I gain more money in stocks. You're leaving Robinhood? Oh, you left Robinhood. That's the wisest choice. That's smart. I agree. I think Robinhood is just like the fact that they have no customer service bothers me. You know, the people that lost money, not during like this situation, the people that have had money stolen from them and they couldn't call customer service to get this fixed, that's ridiculous. You can't have a customer service team available? Come on. You have 20 shares of GME at $40. That's great. That's amazing. You definitely hold that. You have 30 shares of GME at 1K average price. 5,000 shares. Jeez. That's amazing. You have 50 shares of GME at 250. That's good. That's really good. Right now you're realizing a profit. Continue to hold. And whenever you can get to that point, I always tell people, whenever you can get to that point, this is the best advice that anybody ever gave me, is that, you know, when you get to a point to where you can realize your profit and still be able to keep something in the market, you're realizing partial profit, then take it. And then when you can buy it at a lower rate, buy in at that lower rate. Because if you get to a point to where it hit its peak, you're not going to gain anything more than that if it does, you know, just go above that, right? So it's going to continue in that straight line, and you're going to gain, let's say, $50 per, you gain $50 per dollar that it goes up, right? You own 50 shares. If it hit that peak and you continue to go up, it's still going to gain $50, right? But if you take that profit and then when it goes down again, you can continue to go up, you're going to gain more of a profit. Hopefully that makes sense. Sometimes I explain things a little bit weird, but I try. I feel like it's easier to do that way. When do I recommend to buy SLV? I haven't focused on SLV. I don't even know what that is. Silver. I'm not a fan of silver. Well, not saying I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of investing into silver, gold, like all of those. I'm more into the stocks because technically, I don't know, the way that I look at them, they're supposed to tie to a business performance, but obviously in this point we're showing that it doesn't tie to a business's performance. We're showing that it doesn't matter if they're going bankrupt or whatever, it's about the people that are investing in them. And we can do that with any company that we want to, but right now we're focusing on certain areas. So I'm just trying to stay focused here, even though my day trading mind wants to go towards other areas. But AMC, I haven't seen a day trading opportunity like this in quite some time. So this is why I'm always getting in and getting out, getting in and getting out. But at the end of the day, I'm holding. So yeah, I wouldn't say that my 400 shares or however many I do end up having will impact the total amount of volume that's going through, because a lot of times it's millions, 12 million. But I will sell 400 shares, get back in at a lower rate, and then, you know, skyrocket to the top. 70 shares of AMC at 14.58. Yeah, I was at 14.70, I believe, and I wanted to get in at a lower cost basis. So if you ever have the opportunity to get in at a lower cost basis, the only way you can do that is hit your peak, sell at a profit, and then get back in. So just know that when I look at their stock, sorry, that's GameStop. When I look at AMC, I see their peaks and valleys happening consistently, at least 3 to 4 times in a day. Now, the last couple of days have been the same way. Let's hope that Monday is the same way as well. We have 2,200 people in here. Please hit that like button. Get me over 1,200 likes. Gme Prediction. My GME, it looks like a lot of people are focusing on GME. We still have a high volume of shares that are being bought. The good thing about GME is the fact that you're not gonna have someone that buys 115 shares at $325. So I don't know what they're truly limiting you to buy when it comes to GameStop, but if they are limiting you to 115, you're going to see a lot more volume. That's why you've seen GameStop increase and have more of a steady flow here, because you're not seeing a crazy amount of volume that goes into it. It's people buying and holding. They're holding for a long period of time because it's a high price. So my prediction for GME is that obviously it will go up, but I think it's going to stay steadily between that $500 and $400 mark. That's where I think it will stay, and Wall Street will not allow it to go any higher. That's where I think, and I understand that it does decrease to this $312 mark, right? But what it's doing is, I'm saying that consistently it will close. It will, not close. Consistently, it will probably be or end up being at a point to where it resists at that $500 mark, or close to the $500 mark. But you never really see it get above that. The only time you see it get above that or close to that is in the post market or after hours or the pre-market. That's the only time you see it get to that $450, $500 mark, right? The last couple of times it's been like that. It got up to this point to where it was $500. I believe that was in the post market. Then it started to dip down a little bit. So it's tough to say. It's really tough to say. I look at them in the after hours, and it remained flat. It stayed flat. I understand that they did have this dip down to about 280, I believe, 290, and then it went back up. So overall, it remained flat. It closed at 325 and closed the after hours market at 315. 312. So, I mean, it's tough to say. We have to see what they're going to do in the pre-market. I want to see how next week goes, because they have a whole weekend to look at this and go, what can we do to stop them from driving this price up? What can we do in order for them to stop buying it? And they have a whole weekend to think about this, and we have a whole weekend to think about this. What can we do? Instead of focusing our energy on multiple areas, we need to focus on one or two areas. Wherever you want to focus on. But I'm saying that the other areas that have low volume, we need to bring that volume to either GME or AMC. The only thing is, like I said, GME is $325 to buy into. AMC is $13.26. And I'm not just saying this because I have stake in AMC. I'm saying this because we have the highest volume in AMC and in GME compared to the price. Like, some of the volume in GME is like 42,000, but at $325. You know what I mean? But the people that are holding can continue to hold here, man. And again, this is not financial advice. I have to say it. It's not financial advice. I know nothing. I don't study this stuff, nor do I gain profits every day. I do, but I'm supposed to say that this is not financial advice. It's not. Let's see. Why buy AMC when it's only 20-30% shorted? That's a good question. I mean, GME would be the best opportunity to take advantage of these firms that what are at 114% shorted, right? I'm pretty sure they got out of some of their short positions. But the reason why I say AMC is because it gives everybody the opportunity to continue to invest. Even though they're shorted at a lower percentage, it makes sense to get anything done versus not being able to invest at all. If people have the option to buy at a lower price, then that makes it more accessible for them. You know, I know a lot of people don't want to spend $325. I've had friends that are like, oh, I want to support the cause, but I don't want to invest in $325. So I'm like, oh, well, invest in these areas. I even say, you know, Best Buy or Nokia, but you know, I think now that they limited shares, I think we need to focus on some areas, like a couple of areas. Yeah, you're right. Ken, Tesla, they did say was too high. They did constantly short it, and it went to a crazy amount, and then ended up splitting, and now it's even well, I don't even know what it's at now, but I know it was at a higher amount than what is Tesla? So yeah, it's still at a higher amount than when they split, but still, uh, it's crazy what Tesla's actually doing, and it's all because I think it's all because of word of mouth. It's all because of Elon Musk. You know, um, he holds a lot of weight, and he did the same thing, I believe, with GameStop. So he's able to push this further and further and further, and you know, gain a lot out of it. So, um, what do you guys want to hear now? I'm about to end this live stream because I normally would go on for longer, maybe like 2.5 hours, especially at this rate, you know, with people engaged, really engaged. Um, but I have to get ready for a lunch, so I'm about to end this live stream. What is my prediction for AMC next week? I kind of went through this multiple times, but my prediction for AMC next week, it really depends how the first day goes because I don't know what Wall Street is planning. If it continues as is, where we are limited to buy 115 shares per person, or less, then I think it's going to be a slow increase. You know, I think it's going to be something to where we go from the 300 or sorry, we go from the $13 mark, probably up to like the $15-16 mark in a slow increase while still having these peaks and valleys, right? But if we're able to buy and people band together and we have a lot of people that are buying these shares, sorry if you hear stomping, that's my daughter. Um, if you have a lot of people that are buying these shares, then the price stock will increase a lot. You know, it will jump up to that, you know, $20 mark, that 20, hopefully $25 mark. That's what I'm hoping for. But I don't know how large the valleys will be. Um, and if the valleys are really large, then the peak price ends up being, you know, less, if that makes sense. Because we have large decreases, fast decreases with short increases. Does that make sense? Fast decreases, short increase. Fast decrease, well, that's kind of a longer decrease, but that went a longer way. So fast decrease, short or longer increase as you look at the total trend. So it's tough to say. It really all depends on what's happening in the pre-market. For GME, I kind of gave my prediction as well. I feel like it depends how many people can invest into the $325 mark. I feel like they're going to drop a lot on Monday, maybe to like under 200, and then you're going to see that increase. It seems like that's the trend. You know, they dropped to that. Yesterday was actually pretty good because they only dropped to that 250 mark. But the day before that, obviously, you ended at I think it was like yeah, it was under 200. Yeah, which is not good. So, do you think Robinhood and other platforms will restrict the amount you can sell? No, I don't think they will. This is the thing. they would have a reason, like they would have an explanation to why they did it if they restricted the buy and sell button. The fact that they restricted only the buy button means they have someone, they're in someone's back pocket, you know? They have someone right behind them whispering in their ear telling them, hey, do this and this is going to help me out. It'll also help you out because I help you out, type of thing. And that's the prediction. That's what people are saying. It's the theory. So it's tough. I still think they'll limit people to the amount that they can buy, while keeping the amount that they can sell at millions. But yeah, I mean, they say it's like a cash issue, but I don't think it's a cash issue. I really don't. I think that they're playing this game, and I guess they're doing it the right way. But in their opinion, they're doing it the right way. I have no cost prediction. I haven't even looked into it. I would, but I don't want to bring up too many things on this live stream because I really want to focus on a couple of areas, narrow it down, and hopefully we can get into next week and really say, this is what we're investing into. We're coming together as a full group of people, millions and millions of people, to stop these Wall Street firms from gaining their crazy profits over our losses, you know? So I really don't have a cost prediction. I'm sorry about that because I don't have, like, I feel like I haven't looked into it enough. So I don't want to give you false information there, even though this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion based on some things that I see. I know nothing. I am uneducated. But yeah, I mean, I think this whole thing is just, is crazy. It's a great time that we live in, to tell you the truth. Citadel contributes to Robinhood. I did hear that. That's the theory, is that they're in their back pocket, right? Robinhood's in their back pocket because they make the decisions. Hey, take away that buy button. Whoops. You know, like, come on. All right. Well, I think I'm going to get out of here. Sorry for unanswered questions. A lot of people are asking me, what do I think about BB? Like I said, I think that if you're highly invested into it, you know, continue to hold. We'll get to it eventually. I just think that it's not the main focus right now. I believe that some of the starting points should be the main focus. You know, everybody keeps talking about GME and AMC going to the moon, but you can't get there if you don't have enough people there. That's not a good analogy. It wasn't an analogy, but it was just something I said. So I'm going to end this live stream. Thank you so much to everybody that stopped by. We had a peak, what was it? Peak viewers of like 2,500 or so. So thank you so much to everybody that stopped by. I will continue to do live streams. I don't know if I'll do one tomorrow to break things down, but I kind of broke everything down. I know I will do one on Monday. That will probably be like 2 hours, starting at like 8 o'clock, going to like 10 to see what they do the first 30 minutes. And then after that, I obviously have a 9 to 5, so I have to continue to work. But make sure you hold, continue to hold. Don't prematurely sell. Paper hands. And again, this is not financial advice. Thank you for everybody stopping by. You guys are amazing. But I'm going to get out of here. I will catch you guys in the next video, the next live stream. I don't know what that person is pasting.